Hi, Yellow Group. My name is Danielle Liberatore, and today I'll be discussing a little bit about sexuality. Professor Staley states in his lectures that sexuality is the defining human rights topic of our era. Sexuality, LGBTQ issues are at the forefront of our imaginations. Sexuality, in my definition, is the way I express my feelings, my emotions, and passion to an individual of the opposite sex. Heterosexuality, if you will. However, after listening to Professor Staley's lectures this week, I've realized that there are several sexualities, such as sexual behavior and fertility, marriage and premarital sex, heterosexuality, like I stated, sexual minorities, and transsexuality. I will look within a few of the bullet points that I mentioned. Because sexuality is such a broad topic and I'm time limited, I'll be discussing a question that I've always been interested in when it comes to sexuality. Is your sexuality or sexual preference determined at birth biologically, or does the environment you were born into have the ability to determine it? So I'm gonna go to yoga and interview a few people. Hey guys, so I'm at my yoga studio. I'm gonna go in and interview some people now. Is it?
I don't know. I think there's so many factors that can influence.
Yeah.
I think for some people that's how they feel it, they see it, they live it, but I don't know.
I know. It's
Who
tricky.
knows if other things would have happened in my life where I would be. I may be in a very different place.
If it wasn't for your nature.
Yeah.
So, and where you were,
So the biology and the environmental factors and all that happens in one's life, I would think influence what we become or what we, and then it also changes. Sometimes we become this, and then we maybe change, and sometimes it's hopefully an evolution.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
So I think that yes, I think that nurture can affect your sexuality and the decisions you make. I have varying opinions on if you're in if you have parents of the same sex. I think that lifestyle may have an impact on the choices that you make when you're older.
And you being adopted, you were adopted by heterosexual parents.
I was.
Do you think it could have been different for you if your parents were not heterosexual? If you may have been if you were adopted by a lesbian couple or a gay couple?
I think it's possible because I think that in that environment you would think that that's okay,
right? Or the norm,
or the norm,
right?
And that there's probably a 50% chance that you would go in that direction,
right?
But I also think even as people are older, they're still making that decision to go from a heterosexual relationship to a same-sex relationship.
Right.
So I think that nurture has a lot to do with it because it influences our decisions and how we have been treated in relationships all of our lives.
Right. Thank you, Leah.
Hi, I believe that sexuality is definitely something that you are born with. I believe that you are born either straight, gay, or bisexual. I believe that sometimes society can tell someone that it is not okay to be gay, and that definitely influences people coming out, as they say, because it's not accepted everywhere in the country or world even.
So I think that sexuality and sexual preference is mostly determined when you're born, and that it takes people different amounts of time to figure out what it is that they really feel that they are inside. So that's where I think your environment can really affect how you express that, or whether or not you even discover what your true nature is. So yeah, environment can certainly affect the ways in which you express that. Whether or not you feel it's your true sexual identity is a whole other thing.
Thank you. Okay, my opinion on this topic is that sexuality is determined at birth. It's biological. Just like my eyes are hazel, I was born a heterosexual. That's how strongly I believe that sexuality is determined at birth. It's completely biological. So Yellow Group, I'd love to hear your opinion on this topic. And I'd also, it wasn't mentioned in any of my interviews, but I'd love to know how you feel family and religion might play a role in sexuality or sexual preference. So good luck and happy war.